Hello and welcome back to another episode of Daily Draft Logs. This is episode number 19. We're looking at a Kaldheim Premier draft I did that went 3-3, which is a totally fine result. 50% win rate's always kind of what you're aiming for, or a little bit higher if you can. But let's see if I could have done anything better. As always, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And if you'd like to submit your own draft logs via 17lands.com or a similar tracking service, you could do so in the comments below. I'd be happy to review it for you on this channel. Additionally, you could submit it to my Discord channel, which is linked in the description below. As always, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/alromusic. Let's get into this draft. And pick one, pack one. I actually thought ahead and took a screenshot. Cards of consideration here. We're looking at Raven's Warnings, the 3-mana saga. Makes a 1/1 bird, then you gain 2 life. And if you, the second chapter, if you hit them with a creature with flying, you get to draw a card, but only one card, even if you have multiple flyers, which is important to note. And then the third chapter, you can grab something out of your sideboard, put it on top of your deck, which can be useful if you've got a card like Master Scald in your sideboard. Just immediately draw that next turn, rebuy this, and start doing it again. So this card has been pretty sweet. The rest of this pack is not super exciting. We've got Feed the Serpent, which is a great card, but unfortunately black is just not that great in this format, so I don't think I want to start there. We've got Rune of Sustenance, which is a solid rune, probably the best one. The runes are like not amazing. I would take Packmate, Demon Bolt, Behold the Multiverse, maybe even Bergstrider over probably all of the runes. So I think, other than that, there's really nothing exciting in this pack. So I think we take Raven's Warning here. And sure enough, that is what we did. Let's move on to pack 2. So having started with this Raven's Warning, which is a pretty medium rare, like honestly I would take Packmate, Demon Bolt over this card. So we're not putting too much stock into the idea that we want to be blue-white or anything. We're almost looking at pick 2 as another pick 1, if you want to sort of look at it that way. And unfortunately, we've got another weak pack here. If we want to follow this up with a blue or white card, well, we would have to take Undersea Invader or Goldmaw Champion, which are 2 pretty bad ones. So I don't think we're going to be doing that. I like just taking World Tree here. This card has been pretty good. It does come into play tapped, which can be a bit of a bummer sometimes, but just having all your lands become chromatic when you get to 6 it comes up a lot, and you're going to build your deck to get to turn 6 and utilize this as best you can. The Sacrifice It and Search for God cards doesn't come up all that often, but I've actually never seen it happen, but I guess it could. But I think mainly you're just looking at this as 5-color fixing, grabbing it, and leaning into a 5-color deck. Not necessarily Snow, but being able to play any of the powerful stuff that you open or get past in the later packs. So we're going to take World Tree, and away we go. Oh yeah. Into a Cosmos Elixir. What better a card to take you into the late game than Cosmos Elixir? This is extremely difficult for the aggro decks to race if you've got a couple of creatures on board that can block, and then this is almost like a Planeswalker, and it makes your opponent make weird attacks to try to keep you under 20 so that you don't start drawing extra cards off of this. This card can single-handedly get you back into the game. There's a couple things that hose it. Of course, Masked Vandal destroys it, and there's like Quakebringer that says you can't gain life and stuff, but this card is an absolute bomb rare in my opinion, and it's colorless too, so it doesn't force us in any direction, so we're definitely going to take that. Just look at the rest of this pack. I'm not sure what was taken over it, but I feel bad for the next people who have to look at this pack. Pick 4. So we could take Shimmer Drift Veil here as the best snow fixing land. It lets us stay open, lets us be 5-color, lets us be snow if we end up there. I think it's just the best card for us to take here. We could take Ravenous Lindworm as a great late game card, gains us some life, maybe works with the Elixir. Elixir's really, really good if you've got incidental life gain, because then it just becomes very hard to stop. But I think it's just Shimmer Drift Veil here and see what comes. That's what we did. Pick 5. We could grab a Frostbite here and some early interaction. Maybe we become like a base red-green sort of deck. This isn't terrible on the splash either. And if you're Snow, it'll be dealing 3 a bunch of the time, which is quite good. I wonder how many people would be interested in Squash over Frostbite here. I don't think I'm there yet, but I imagine some people are. Let me know in the comments what you think. Rest of this pack is pretty unexciting. Fury is cool. Our deck is not going to be set up to do the black-white double spell thing, so somebody else can get into this deck, and I'm fine passing this and putting somebody else into that deck. You know, at the moment, we're playing all 4 of our picks, and they're all excellent cards and work very well together. So I want to stick to the plan we're currently on, and I think I want to take Frostbite. I guess there's an argument to take Snowfield Sinkhole, but the white producing dual lands are just not a priority for me. So I think I'm on Frostbite here, and that's what we took. Pick 6. Another pretty weak one. I think we just take Elven Bow here. Solid creature. Carries us through the early game, and then buffs up our creatures, buffs up our 1/1 bird token later on, and keeps our creatures relevant. Yep, that's what we took over pretty much nothing. So far, hasn't been too many hard decisions. Here we'll just grab a Glittering Frost to further our 5-color plan. And next pick, this pick's a little bit tougher. I like taking Master Scald to go with Raven's Warning. We could take Coma's Faithful as sort of a speed bumpy creature, but I don't want to be in too many different colors for our 2 and 3 drop early game plays. Raven's Warning is still good late in the game, so I can consider that sort of a splash, and we're likely to want to be blue-green base, splashing white and red. I don't know if taking Coma's Faithful is correct here, just because fixing and making sure you have the right color of mana on turn 3 is way harder than fixing and making sure you have the right color of mana on turn 5. So I think we take Master Scald here, and I disagree with that pick. So we should take Master Scald. Rounding out this pack, pick up a late Frostpyre Arcanist. That's pretty sweet. I could see just taking Grizzled Outrider here as just a solid card. Doesn't look like we have any giant synergy, and we only have the 1 instant at the moment. We're probably not going to have multiples, but it's early enough that we could prioritize it. So I can see it. I think I might just take Outrider, though, at this point, just to have a solid big body. And rounding out this pack, I could see taking Broken Wings over Disciple. Again, I don't want to have too many colors spreading ourselves too thin in the early picks. Broken Wings is definitely main deckable. Elderfang Disciple is not a super effective card, although it is a nice early play to sort of be a speed bump and mess with your opponent. But not sure if this pick's going to matter a ton, but I could see taking Broken Wings. Pick up another Disciple and a Godtall Guardian. Interesting. Yeah, I can see that. We have no synergy really with Death Knell Berserker other than the Elven Bow. I just don't think that Godtall Guardian is a good card. I guess neither of these are great, but if we're thinking about taking early drops, I'd probably just rather take the Berserker. Maybe sometimes we put a bow on it. Maybe most of the time it just trades with a 3/2, which is also fine. Keeps us in the game, get us to our late game. So now it's starting to look like we're base black-green in the early game, splashing some other stuff. So this pick feels a little incongruent to me, but probably not a huge problem. Strategic planning, sure. Invoke, sure. Dreadrider, hopefully we don't have to play, but we could. All right. On to pack 2, pick 1. I like Bears of Lityara quite a bit. This card is really, really good, and if you end up with a Masked Vandal or Mistwalker or something, this just gets insane because you're turning a bunch of your own creatures into 4/4s, and then they kill all your opponent's stuff in the 3rd chapter. So it's bomb rare. We should not be passing it here, and we took it. Thank goodness. All right, into pick 2. I like Lindworm here. Just have some good top end, and really just nothing else in this pack. I've talked about Search of Greatness before. It's essentially, to me, scry 1 every turn, which is good. I don't think you're going to get to cheat anything out most of the time. Just it hasn't seemed to work out that way in the games I've seen it played. So I'm taking it over probably everything else in this pack except for Lindworm. Card is just super solid. Gaining 4 just shuts down aggro. It's a big body. It just sits there and blocks while your Elixir runs away with the game. This card is just awesome, and we snap it up here. Pick 3. We can grab a Cosmos Charger or a Glittering Frost to fix our mana. But I think we just take Mistwalker here. I've not been super impressed with Cosmos Charger. It's fine. It's like a it's kind of like a bad Augury Raven, but it's got flash, so sometimes you ambush them. But I mean, having a Bears in our pile already, and Mistwalker is already kind of a better card than Augury Raven, I would just take Mistwalker here. But and this is kind of makes this a bit more interesting, is our mana is not great. We've got 1 Frost, which I'm happy to have. We've got 1 Shimmerdrift Veil. We've got World Tree. We are kind of in a spot where our early drops are sort of black and green, and now we're adding blue to that equation. This could get kind of weird. I could see just taking Frost here and trying to make sure we have good mana, trying to make sure we can cast our better cards in the late game. I think this pick is pretty close. Looking at it now, I actually think Frost is the more responsible pick, but I understand the Mistwalker pick. Going with Bears is pretty sweet. We could potentially drop these Disciples and the Faithful and just become blue-green as well, but I think Glittering Frost is slightly more responsible, but that's a really close one. Pick 4. Another Shimmerdrift Veil, especially having passed that Frost, is huge pickup for us here. I like Finn a good amount as an early drop that sort of just blanks some creatures and stops their 4/4s from getting in. I've almost got somebody to 10 poison with this before, but that didn't end up working out. That's not a game plan, by the way, because once they get to 8 poison, they'll just prioritize killing this, and then you've gotten nowhere. Horizon Seeker, good fixer as well, but I think we just take Shimmerdrift Veil here. That's what we did. Pick 5. Dwarven Hammer's pretty sweet. Not much else going on in this pack. We're approaching having the mana base to splash it. We want to play Frostbite already. I think we grab Dwarven Hammer here over Arctic Treeline and the rest of this pack, which is pretty bad. That's what we did. All right, Narfi. I don't know that we can support Narfi. We've got 2 Snowlands and a way to make a 3rd. That's going to be pretty rough to get triple snow. We could speculate on it, but our deck is a little bit weak at the moment. Our early game is pretty bad with these 2s and 3s. So I think we just want to sort of pick a solid card that's going to affect the board and not require us to spend more picks on lands when we need to be spending picks on just early game and interaction. So I think having 2 Changelings and a Giant makes me want to just grab a Squash here as just a solid removal spell. Ooh, we went for the Narfi, so this could be where this deck went from maybe being a bit better to a 3/3 deck, which is still decent, but I don't know that I like this pick in retrospect. So now we have to start prioritizing Snowlands if we want to make that work. So luckily we get past Woodland Chasm, which lets us play these Elderfang Disciples a little bit more reliably, the Comus Faithful, so it sort of helps give us some direction in terms of what we're trying to do. It looks now, if we pick this up, we're trying to be black-green early and splash the rest of the colors later. I like that a lot. I love having direction. We're going to take that here, and away we go. I like Way Down here as a way to utilize these Disciples once they've blocked in combat. Don't like God's Hall Guardian at all. I have no idea why we took that here. Should have taken Way Down. Would have been excellent with these Disciples. So, my bad. Rounding out the pack, Wheel of Finn. We'll take that. That works for me. Could take another Disciple over Knotfold Recluse. If we'd taken the Way Down, that would make more sense. Given that we did not. Yeah, Recluse is a good blocker. I just don't like this card that much. I think I'd take Disciple here and just play more of an attrition game, whittle them down, and then end up grinding them out with Cosmos Elixir and Narfi. I think that's more of a reliable plan. Also, we could just take Snow Swamp here as a way to enable Narfi, which might just be the pick at this point. But this is what I'm talking about, is when you take these very conditional snow payoffs, you have to start making these concessions where it's like, if I take this land, I'm losing a good creature, not a good creature, but a creature, and my deck probably needs them at this point. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-ish. That's not too bad, actually. So I think we could let go of these and just take the swamp, but took the Knotfold Recluse. Nice to be seeing these Snowlands late. That's very promising. Horizon Seeker's great for us. Hero's Revenge, probably not so much. Comus Faithful actually fits the bill. So we're kind of getting hooked up here. Opening, a Rimewood Falls versus a Binding the Old Gods. I think we got to take Binding the Old Gods here. We have a Master Scald. No, we don't. We should have taken that one, though, and that would have worked really well with this. But either way, this card's just great. 4 mana, destroy anything, and then putting a land in place pretty good. We can search up a dual land with it. Or a basic Snowland, and help us get to triple snow for Narfi. So definitely just taking Binding the Old Gods here. We took Rimewood Falls. So again, a concession to the fact that our mana is looking a little bit awkward in the early turns, and we do want triple snow. Still, I don't think you're giving up the power of Binding to take Rimewood Falls. But yeah. So couple of picks that I think have really cost us this draft, and this is another one of them. Pick 2, we got another look at a Snowland. This is going to help us splash our red cards, which we're wont to do. So let's grab it, and we do. Another Snowland, not a good one though. I think it's weird, like having double Godhog Guardian is kind of making me want to take it, but I think we just take Packmate here. Super solid common. It's going to help us find our fixing, find our lands by drawing us cards. It's a solid body at 3/3. We need good early interaction, so pretty hard to pass up the best common in the set. And Herald unites the elves. Well, how many elves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you include Mistwalker and Bears. And the 7th is the bow. This could actually be pretty good for our deck. Even if you just got like 3 elves out and you end up getting to buff them all, maybe you've traded off a Disciple in the early game. You get to put that into play off of this. I think this is going to do enough that we should take it here. So I'd like to pick that up over Horizon Seeker. I don't think we're in a place anymore where we really need the fixing that Horizon Seeker provides. We've got Glittering Frost. We've got a good mana base here. We've got a green-blue duel, a black-green duel. So our Sultai is quite strong, and then the double Shimmer Veil is going to really just get us the rest of the way there. Plus, keep in mind we have World Tree, so after turn 6, or our 6th land drop, I should say, which hopefully happens on turn 6 or 7, we don't need to worry about, playing, fixing our mana anymore. So, yeah, I think this is another large oversight. This is exactly the kind of card where we're building this multicolor mana base to capitalize on getting past this later, and we just so happen to have a good elf count, which I probably didn't see at the time, but certainly is here now, especially if you look at the changelings that we have. So we took Snow Mountain, which is a little bit weird to me. I mean, we've got 6 Snowlands, so I think Narfi is going to be okay. We do have double Horizon Seeker to search it out, but I think we could just grab Draugr's Helm here, or Masked Vandal, especially if we'd taken Herald Unites the Elves. We could take the Masked Vandal and have an extra elf that's going to have some other utility for us. Again, I think we're giving up power to take a land that's really only helping us in terms of Narfi. So this is a ripple effect of taking this Narfi in the first place, which I don't even think we needed to do. We could have grabbed Draugr's Helm, which is kind of like Narfi, keeps coming back for more, and it doesn't require any magic to happen with your lands. So yeah, I would be on Draugr's Helm here, all told. Pick 6, we get another look at Binding. Are we going to take it this time? I sure hope we do. Priest is fine. We might be able to wheel it. We don't have like 8 or 9 Snowlands, which really makes this thing tick, but it is a reasonable early drop, but I think we should take Binding here. We do. Nice. Volatile Fjord. Well, that's going to give us pretty much a free red splash, so I think we do take it here over Sculptor, but kind of wanting another 2-drop. But yeah, I think we take the Fjord here over the Sculptor. Yeah, I mean, Sculptor, we need the 2. We already have 3 sources of red if you count both the Shimmerdrift Veils, and and we've got a Glittering Frost, so I can see it. Maybe we need the creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I mean, we don't need the creature count, so I think I actually would be on the land here. It's also Raise the Draugr in the pack, which could be pretty good. We've got a bunch of elves. We've got a couple. We got 1 changeling. So, that could be pretty good, too, to grind a late game out. So, I think you would consider the Raise or the Volatile before you'd consider the Sculptor. Rounding out this draft, we get past a Master Skull. That's pretty nice. We've got Bears, Binding, and Raven's Warning, all of which I think we're going to end up playing. We've definitely got the mana base to make it happen, so that's a nice pickup for us. We'll take a Funeral Longboat. I don't like that pick. I get that we are a little light on 2s, but this card's pretty bad. I'd sooner take a Draugr Recruiter to maybe grind out some value in the late game or just be a threat on 4 mana. Ice-Hide Troll is playable in this deck. We've got a lot of snow lands, so I like picking that up. Furia is splashable. It's not going to be much more than the 5-mana 2/4 lifelink flying, which is a good card, but tricky to cast. I don't think we're going to get to benefit from the double spell very much. I don't know if we should play it. Obviously, there's nothing really in this pack, so sure, we'll pick it up. X-Guard Braggart. I would sooner take the Kennel Master. I think we could potentially fit it in the deck, and we're not looking to be white. And Kennel Master is actually just a solid card. Probably neither of these making the deck, but worth noting. Late Draugr is really good. Demonic Gifts we're not going to play. We're not an aggro deck. And there you go. We ended up going through a few different builds here. Let's see what the final build looks like. So, green-black base, splashing red, blue, and white. As we sort of said, our mana looks pretty good. We get to play 3 sources of blue and 1, 2, 3, 4 sources of red alongside, and I guess we get, sort of 3-ish sources of white if you're counting both Shimmer Drift Veils, which I don't think you should be because they're going to be getting set to blue or red before they're going to be getting set to white. But then we've got Glittering Frost and Horizon Seekers, which we didn't end up playing a Plains, probably couldn't fit it in, but World Tree is gonna get us there. So I think we've got enough that it's worth playing Raven's Warning, and then we just grab the Master Scald out of the sideboard at the end of the Raven's Warning and utilize it that way. And then we still have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green sources, which is perfect. 4, 5, 6, 7 black sources, which is quite good as well. So I do like how the mana turned out. And I like leaving Furia in the sideboard. I think it's just a little too awkward. Kind of wish we were playing Ice-Hide Troll, though, over Knotfold Recluse. I think that's reasonable to do, since we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Snowlands. I think that's enough. And we can search at least one of them out with Horizon Seeker. I think it's enough to make me want to play Ice-Hide Troll over the Spider. But Spider does block flying, which is pretty handy. So, I mean, we made some power level concessions during the draft that I didn't agree with, and I think this deck could have been better. Herald Unites the Elves would have been great, for one thing, and I think, there was just a couple times, like taking Narfi, what did that really do for us? We've only got Narfi that cares about our snow. I mean, yeah, Frostbite kind of does, Sculptor kind of does, but not in a way that you're prioritizing Snowlands over other good cards. I think this kind of threw us for a little bit of a loop, and I mean, I'm sure it performed fine for us, but I think this deck could have been a bit more cohesive and a bit more streamlined had we not sort of fall into the trap of seeing Narfi and being like, oh, we should get into 5-color snow. It's like, we could have probably been like a solid, green, blue, green, red kind of deck. And gotten there just fine. So, interesting draft. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. As always, click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one. You can post your draft logs for me to review in the comments below or in my Discord channel, which is linked in the description below. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/AlvaroMusic. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.